Can natural distortion cause deceptive perfection? The focus of my channel has always been, what can an everyday person do without exotic locations, expensive tools, or impossible logistics? What can a normal person observe and measure in their own backyard? In my videos, I challenge folks to make a particular measurement, then to compare this observation to what the most common flat Earth model predicts versus the globe. The criticism I get most frequently is, you can't tell the shape of the floor by the shape of the ceiling, which is true. I'm not suggesting that at all, and I've addressed this point in my video, The Sky is a Dome. The next most frequent criticisms are that I'm just doing a lot of mathematical hocus pocus, and that I'm not taking into account perspective and refraction. It was a comment made by my friend Kyle Adams that really gave me pause. He wrote that I'm depending on light traveling in straight lines through the firmament and atmosphere, which really made me think twice as to the impact my experiments, and thus arguments, could have on anyone who believed the Earth was flat. And Kyle did have a valid point. In all my experiments, I do require light to travel in straight lines through the atmosphere. So, after much deep thought, and more than a few bottles of Mountain Dew Code Red, I came up with a short 6-word phrase, which, if taken seriously, may have the power to change minds in the flat Earth debate. Can natural distortion produce deceptive perfection? Let's break down this phrase. While some folks in the flat Earth debate believe we live in an engineered Truman Show enclosure, designed and built by some advanced race, I think the vast majority of people believe we live in a natural world, governed by natural laws of physics. A good portion of science is the analysis of these laws. One of the natural laws that affects what we can see is refraction, as light passes through media with different indices of refraction. For example, denser air at sea level through the less dense air at higher altitudes. We all know that light bends as it passes at an angle through these layers, which we call atmospheric refraction. There are also interesting mirage effects very close to the surface, as there may be inversion layers. These inversions happen when warm air right above the surface, for example, right above hot pavement or warm water, is less dense than the cooler air above it. So refraction is one cause of natural distortion. Another effect is perspective. The first rule of perspective is that things that get further away appear smaller in our field of view. Twice as far leads to an appearance that is twice as small. Other rules of perspective involve the appearance of parallel lines, which are not terribly common in nature. But when present, parallel lines lead to a vanishing point. And it is this interplay that many flat Earth folks cite in their explanations of some visual phenomenon. I think all participants in the flat Earth debate can agree that in our world there exists natural distortion of various degrees. Maybe it's significant, maybe insignificant, but distortion does exist. Let's continue analyzing this phrase. For argument's sake, let's say that the Earth is flat, shaped more like a pizza than a basketball. The sun and moon circle above the disk, with the stars and planets in a dome, plane, or firmament above that. And if this doesn't describe your particular flavor of flat Earth, please substitute yours for the one I'm describing. I am not trying to strawman anyone. Let's say in the flat Earth model, the sun should be at a certain place at a certain time. And let's say that the globe model describes a very different place in the sky at that same time. So you go outside and discover that the sun is exactly where the globe model predicted. If the Earth were in fact flat, what you're seeing is not only a natural distortion, but one that perfectly mimics what you would see if the Earth were a globe. Let's say you go through the entirety of the experiments on my channel, carefully observing the sun, moon, and stars, making measurements and observations, and collecting data. If the Earth were flat, yet the data you collect perfectly matches the globe model, this is what we would call a perfect deception. If we're talking about a magician, his or her job is to deceive the audience, causing much delight and astonishment. And that's why we find magic acts so entertaining. especially as we try to figure out how the deception took place. And if you're talking about a con man, the deception is intended to fleece the victim of money, a form of fraud and theft. But what if we're talking about the natural world? Is it possible that the natural world's distortion, such as refraction or perspective, can cause a perfect deception with no cracks in the armor? That is what this series will be about. In each example, we'll start with the assumption that the Earth is flat. But then we'll ask the globe folks what their model predicts. Then, when we examine what we see in the natural world, we can ask that same question. Can natural distortion cause deceptive perfection? Here's a list of potential topics. Your comments are always welcome. Do you know any careful backyard observations you can make that might reveal the shape of the Earth? Did I miss any in this list? Please let me know. As always, when making comments, please be kind to each other. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. And finally, special thanks to my channel supporters. I truly appreciate your kindness. Bye.